She like talks to me for 3 hours. She's like, I'm at Gerard Way and I'm eating great. I was like, fuck would you ever tell me that?
It's the Pup Fresh Podcast. Pup Fresh Podcast. Pup Fresh Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Pup Fresh Podcast, episode number 13. My name is Dan. I'm the host of the Pup Fresh Podcast. On the show today, I have an interview with Ben of Neck Deep. And if you want to skip to the interview, look in the description. I have the start time there. I know that y'all don't want to hear me talk for too long, which is why this week I brought on a special guest host. His name is Jonathan Weber, also known as JWeb, but more importantly known as my dear friend, one of the founding members of PupFresh.com before he got all famous on me and started a band called Yours Truly, who put out one good album that I loved and then broke up. So, way to dip out on Pup Fresh for that, JWeb. How you doing these days?
Good. How about you? Still bitter?
Well, you know what? I kind of am, because you were probably the sassiest part of Pup Fresh when we started, and now you're doing absolutely nothing. But you're a good singer. I'm actually a big fan of JWeb.
Thanks.
Like, all jokes aside, I mean, the guy is crazy talented. He's crazy good looking. He's the type of guy that I would probably try to marry.
Yeah, happens.
So let's get into it then, JWeb.
Let's get it.
Let's do this. Talking about music stuff this week. That's what I do on this podcast. I don't know if you listen.
I do.
Like, I listen to your album, Brutally Honest, every single day. Every time I drive my car. I'm a big fan of yours.
The discography of your podcast.
Wow, that means a lot to me. We have 12 releases. This is going to be our 13th. Yeah, number 13. But yeah, so I want to give a special shout out to our friend Autumn Lavis, who is the ex-girlfriend of Front Porch Step, who recently, after raising over $3,000 to defend herself in court, went to court against Jake McElfresh and ended up winning. Did she win?
In a way,
it's like I want to say she won to be like empowering to her and make her feel good because she's like our friend and everything like that. But did she really? I mean, he kind of quit. He kind of
quit in the most fuckboy way possible.
Right. Okay. So let's kind of little background here. Jake McElfresh, Front Porch Step, certified shithead, decided to take Autumn to court to try to get a restraining order against her, because she spoke out against all of his horrid actions, which included him sleeping around and cheating on her with over 20 girls. He was sexting underage girls, and he was just overall manipulative and kind of emotionally abusive to her. So because of her speaking out against all of that, he claimed that she was damaging his career, which in his eyes warranted a restraining order. So she had no choice but to defend herself, because if they were ever to have any kind of like trial later on or anything like that, it would just look bad if he had that against her. Totally understandable. So she raises all this money, flies from Arizona to Tennessee to go to the court date, and this dude waddles in the courtroom with an Expire t-shirt, cargo shorts, baseball hat, and bright orange shoelaces, and says to the judge, "Meh, I don't want to do this no more." It's more or less. And
yeah,
so I guess he was advised, or we suppose he was advised, that backing out of court is much better than losing in court, which he would have done because Autumn had a badass lawyer who was, taking care of things for her and was going to defend her. And that was all thanks to everybody that donated to her GoFundMe. So thank you to everybody that donated, and shout out to Autumn for, showing up. And I guess she won.
She totally did, because
no, she really did. No, all jokes aside, she really won. In
100%, because he was doing that as like almost a power struggle, just to be like, look what I can do. And then she's like, well, because he knew about like a situation that she didn't have a ton of money to fly across the country to dispute this.
Right. And
then the community came together and raised this money for her, and she flew all the way out there, and that's not something I think he expected to happen.
Right.
And that just kind of was like, you know what, I'm a piece of shit, and I don't have a case, so right. I'm gonna drop this,
right?
Instead of,
and to the judge that signed off on that attempt at getting a restraining order, how did you become a judge? Is all I want to know. But yeah, no, congratulations on him, truly. And anybody that's following the Front Porch Step situation, we just released the second and final phone call of the recorded conversations that Autumn had with Jake, And that's on our YouTube channel right now. And if you want to hear how manipulative and verbally abusive and, I don't know, awful he is.
Messed up.
Yeah, completely. Go on our channel and listen to that, because, I mean, the guy's out there and he's throwing it in Autumn's face that she can't really afford her therapist. He's saying things like, oh, well, you were in an abusive relationship, kind of shaming her for, you know, having suffered abuse, and that's just not something that is acceptable at all. And you know, I'm just happy to know that the Front Porch Step saga may be coming to an end here soon, because that guy does not deserve any success. His Billboard article also came out, which, did you happen to read that, JWeb?
I did. I read most of it.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
It was a little unsettling to read.
Yeah, completely.
In the way...
It was unsettling to look at his pink shirt, because you know that somebody was like, yo, Jake, throw on a pink shirt so that people think that you're less threatening.
Yeah, it was good, though, for what it was.
The article?
Yes.
I thought the article was really well done. The writer that did it, I think that she did the best that she could within the confines of, like, what she was able to write. I know that thing was probably edited as shit, but she still was able to get her voice across in her message, which was an impartial one, which... It's so difficult to remain impartial yet still get a point across. She let the story tell itself. And by doing that, I mean, she had quotes from him saying things like, yo, yeah, I was a womanizer. Yeah, some of them were underage. Yeah, they all wanted it. They were... I don't know exact quotes and everything like that. So, but I mean, essentially it was like, none of these girls were telling me to stop. And then him acknowledging that they were underage and then saying, but I'm not a pedophile.
Yes.
Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, hey, you know, I just shot somebody in the face and they died, but I'm not a murderer. I just push you into a bucket of water, but you're not wet.
Eating a piece of salami and then saying you're a vegetarian.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
Like a salami log.
Yeah. Are you saying that he's a log of salami?
He's a bag of shit. I can't even be on my porch anymore.
Without getting...
I'm gonna go on my back porch.
Without getting triggered.
I go on my back. Oh my god.
I go on my back.
I can't even go out the front door anymore. You gotta use the back door for everything.
That's how the photograph was written.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he totally, for all purposes, I mean, if you look up what a pedophile is, I think that Jake would...
qualify.
I mean, I'm not saying distinctively whether or not. I'm saying he allegedly is, because I don't want to go. I don't want him to make me go to Tennessee, because I don't. Nobody would give me $3,000.
I would do that.
Would you? But speaking of complete and utter bags of shit, Austin from Set It Off launched an Indiegogo?
GoFundMe.
Was it a GoFundMe?
It was a GoFundMe.
And he is now asking fans for $15,000 so that he can clear his name and get his career back.
Yeah.
If any of you don't know what happened with Austin from Set It Off, there was a lot of stuff that came out online about how he was being inappropriate with fans, sleeping with them, some of which claimed to have been minors. And so his band kicked him out. And now he apparently is depressed because obviously when you do something inappropriate, you're the victim. And he wants $15,000 so that he can get a lawyer and take these girls to court, which I thought that $15,000 was way too much money to ask your fans for. And I think that if this guy was innocent, then his band would have his back, wouldn't you think?
In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. If he was innocent, I don't think they would have kicked him out. But we're going to go back to the statement they released when he was kicked out. And it just seems a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it.
Read it.
They posted this fairly quickly after accusations came forward. And they said, recently we have been made aware of the statements made about our bassist, Austin Kerr. We are taking the situation seriously and have decided that the best thing for the band is to part ways with Austin. We send our deepest apologies to anyone who has ever been affected negatively by his actions. Our fans mean the absolute world to us, and their safety and happiness will always be our top priority. We are so grateful for their ongoing support over the years, and will do anything we can to make this up to them and to move forward from this. Which sounds pretty neutral and like a blanket PR statement.
Yeah, when you think of like Set It Off, you think of people like those, like Cody specifically is so passionate and like has such a strong connection with his fans, and that statement just really seemed forced and kind of, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was coming from their mouth, which I'm not gonna say that's true or false, but it just seems that way. And you look at this whole situation, and like we were just saying before you read the statement, if Austin was completely innocent, you would think that the band would have his back in this situation. $15,000 to a band that is killing it on Warped Tour every day. They're on the main stage. They have like 90 pieces of merch that they're selling.
Yeah, that was huge. I walked past their tent at Warped Tour and I was like, this is bigger than the venue I saw them play their first show in.
Yeah, the tent.
100%.
The tent was bigger than the venue?
Yes, 100%. You've been in the Verna's room.
Yeah.
That tent would not have fit in the Verna's room.
Right. That tent was like a flea market. The whole tent was. And so you figure, I mean, they're bringing money. If $15,000, they could easily donate to him if they thought that he was innocent. And maybe it's PR. Maybe it would look bad to defend somebody like that. But at the same time, if they knew without a shadow of a doubt that the guy was innocent, and if they were willing to have the brothers back and everything like that, then I don't think he would have to ask fans for this money.
True.
And I just think that indicates that he's potentially guilty in this, and the fact that he's trying to victimize himself here after releasing a statement where he seemed to have
owned up to it.
Yeah, like owned up, and like seemed like you're thinking like, okay, this guy's doing, like, his statement was the best that he could have done given the shit that he put himself into, and now he's kind of like taking it all back. And
don't flip-flop. Don't like have your story and stick to it.
Right.
But if you're gonna flip-flop, you do the opposite of what he did.
Yeah.
You like, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you're still stupid.
Yeah, like he did the right thing. I mean, the rightest thing he could have done, and then he did like the worst thing he could have done.
And he flipped it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make, well, not that I expect him to make any sense or anything. Yeah. But you can't own up to it and then come back and be like, you know what? These were false accusations. I want $15,000 so these girls can recant their statements, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he's going on Twitter all the time saying like, well, if, why don't these girls go to the police instead of, going to Tumblr? Right. It's a lot easier to go to Tumblr. Right. And you know how many cases get dismissed from underage girls going like, this guy, like, there's, it's not something that can happen.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
It's like unnerving for a grown, well, I'll say grown man, legally by age, a grown man.
Yeah. Although he has like the emotional intelligence of
a 3-year-old.
Of a 3-year-old.
There you go. Yeah. He is abusive in the fact that he's using the fan base against teenagers.
And he's also, the fact that he's trying to raise this money. Do you think these girls are going to be able to defend themselves at all?
No, 100% they will not be able to.
No, it's like the reverse of what Jake did. Almost like how he was trying to like do a power move on Autumn, but she ended up pulling through and being like, nope, seeing through your bullshit. This is just another power move. It looks like
aggressive in the way that these girls came to his shows. These girls found outlet in his music. These girls cannot come back. They're not going to get support from their families or anything. They're like, oh, you can't go to shows anymore. The one thing that was giving them, it's just bad. Yeah. It's disgusting. It's gross. This is why I love the show Dexter.
Yeah.
This is why I love the show Dexter. Because this motherfucker would be on his table so fast.
Wow. That's a bold statement, JWeb. On a side note about Austin, he went on Twitter, and when I was kind of tweeting it up about how I think that this whole thing that he's doing, asking for money, is ridiculous, he's like, I thought you were trying to run a music publication, not be an ignorant teenager. I told him, hey man, ignorant teenager doesn't sound so good coming out of your mouth, considering, the circumstances. And then he goes off and deletes the tweet. Like, who does that? I had a perfectly hilarious and relevant response that proved a point, and I thought that it was like an A+ grade content, and the tweet was on fleek, and he comes out and deletes his original one so nobody sees how funny I was. That's a bummer to me. I feel victimized. Give me $15,000, please. I need $15,000 so I can take Austin Kerr to court and so everybody knows that I was funny, and that tweet had context to it, but he deleted that context, so I'm entitled. Give me $15,000. He's defaming my character, and I'm gonna cry now. Essentially.
In a way.
Yeah. So that's pretty much, I mean, the gist of this podcast is to say the Front Porch Step's a piece of shit. Austin Kerr, kind of a piece of shit. We need to be better than this, guys. And JWeb would agree. I think completely. He just gave me the thumbs up, or it was the okay. Yeah. He just gave me the middle finger now. But yeah, I think that wraps up our talking portion. Unless JWeb, you want to say something to our listeners?
Nope.
No, not a word. Follow JWeb on Twitter at JWebMusic. Follow me on Twitter at YoDcox or at Pup Fresh. I just plugged my personal. That felt so weird.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't do that because my personal's not cool. I just tweet about basketball. Well, yeah. Yeah, deal with scratching the microphone. Our interview with Ben of Neck Deep is coming up, and I hope that y'all enjoy it.
Pup Fresh Podcast!
Alright, I'll try and make it as unawkward as possible for you.
I appreciate that. All right, I got Ben from Neck Deep on the phone right now. How you doing today, Ben?
Yeah, really good, man. Another day at Warped Tour. Getting towards the end of the tour now. The days are starting to catch up with me. It's gone very quick up until this past week, where it's slowed down. But it's cool. Weather's nice. We're in California, so I can't complain.
It's about to pick up too because the new album's dropping here in like 9 days, something like that.
Yeah,
It's right around the corner, brother. And I mean, this thing is just something that's been talked about. I've seen a lot of reviews come out. The singles that you guys have had have been huge. You've been killing it on Warped Tour. I mean, you guys are just essentially, it seems, set up for just success.
Well, we hope so. We're very confident in the new album. We definitely think it's some of the best stuff we've ever written. We knew even the second we started writing for it, like that it was instantly a step up from the last record. And I guess that's all you can really hope for as a band, is to keep writing, well, to keep bettering yourselves and to try and, put out consistently good stuff. And it seems like we've got that. And the hype's there too, which is sick. People seem to be really excited about it, really kind of buzzy at the minute. Warped Tour's treating us very well. Crowds have been insane. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of set up for us to do really well. I guess we'll find out in 9 days.
I guess so. How do you end up working with Jeremy McKinnon of A Day to Remember on this album? Is he somebody that you selected to work with, or was it sort of him selecting you?
Well, we were kind of shopping around, we spoke with a couple of different producers and things like that, and we knew we wanted to work with an outside producer for the record, because we just wanted to try something different and go out of our comfort zone a little bit. And it came down to it. Phil, our bassist, was in Florida for some reason, I think just visiting friends. And while he was down there, he had a meeting scheduled with Andrew Wade and Tom Denny, who are the other two producers on the record. And originally it was just meant to be those two. It's just meant to be Wade and Denny, but then Jeremy kind of caught wind of it. Obviously, Jeremy, being very good friends with both of them, had no issues with basically saying, screw you guys, I'm in on this too. And so Phil sat down with Jeremy and Andrew Wade and had a conversation, and Jeremy was just like, you have to let me work on this. No one else will put in as much effort and passion as I will. Like, I really believe in your band, and I know it's going to be a really big record, and I think I'm the guy that you should work with on it. And just his enthusiasm generally kind of shone through amongst some of the other producers, He was just stoked to work on it, and that was pretty much why we wanted to do it with him, and as well being an awesome songwriter himself, and just to be able to work with someone like him and Andrew Wade and Tom Denny is, that's the dream team right there. So yeah, and the album is proof that we made a good decision.
What does that do? What does that do for your ego though, when you got a guy like Jeremy from A Day to Remember, who's so well respected, and I'm sure that you were a fan of prior to recording with him, but just to have him be like, you guys are like great. I want you. I don't think we have much egos anyway. I don't really think that anything really adds to our ego. We kind of, I would get one.
We've always been quietly confident,
Yeah.
But we never want to develop an ego, because that fucking just sucks. And I just hate people with a complex because they're in a band that sucks. Like, we've always tried to maintain the fact that, like, we are fucking normal dudes from a normal ass place who 3 years ago were doing nothing. So we really haven't even had time to develop an ego, and neither do we want it. So Jeremy just saying that to us is, that was just awesome. We just took that in our stride and said, that's cool. Like, that obviously means that we're doing something right. And Jeremy himself is a very, very down-to-earth dude. He's not a rock star at all. He doesn't act like a rock star. So working with him, we didn't, it was just like working with one of our friends. We could just sit and chill and do whatever we wanted and be totally comfortable around him and not have to, not think, oh shit, we're in the presence of this huge, this massive musician. You know what I mean? Like, it was all cool.
Yeah, I would just imagine, like, my confidence would just go through the roof if somebody like him came up to me and wanted to record with me. It would have to. I mean, it's great that you're humble
cool.
and everything like that, but man, you have such a reason to you said quietly confident, man. You guys just ought to flaunt it because you're killing it right now. How did the band actually? How did you guys actually start?
It started with me and our guitarist Lloyd, basically getting together and writing a few songs in my brother's room. He has a very small recording studio up there, and my brother helped write some of the tracks too. But originally it was just us two, and I knew him and I knew our other guitarist Wes through older bands. They were in a band called Spires that also used to record at my house pretty regularly, so I got to know them through that. And really, me and Lloyd just wanted to write a couple of tracks, put it out, and just kind of just write music. We just wanted to write music. I was feeling creative, he was feeling creative, and yeah, that's all we wanted to do, was just create some music. And it just caught on instantly from when we put the first track up. Like, people were saying really good things about it, so we kind of just rolled with it from there. And the natural progression was then to write an EP and then to start playing shows. And yeah, it all went from really being a kind of side project almost to just being this fucking huge beast that it is today. So
to that point, were those like the first songs that you ever written, or had you written anything before starting that little project?
We'd all written music before. I'd done acoustic stuff myself before. I used to play like local shows just acoustically, and I just used to sit in my room and just write really shitty, cheesy love songs. But that was my learning curve, that was my phase of me learning how to write songs and lyrics and things like that. And I was doing that for a long time, and yeah, it kind of just evolved into this. So. When
you were coming up and getting into music, were you mostly just into bands around your area, or were you looking over to the U.S. A bit?
I mean, no, we were definitely looking into the US. Like, when I first got into music, all the bands that I liked were from the US, really. There was definitely a few UK bands, but nothing of real, like, significance. Pretty much every band I liked was American, and I think I really kind of, I think that definitely is pretty clear in our sound. I sing with an American accent purely because all the bands that I used to love growing up when I was a kid singing along, I just wanted to emulate that. So the American accent kind of comes through. But yeah, definitely, especially with our genre, it's definitely born over in America for sure. I mean, the local scene where we were from was good for a little while. We had local band Spires, they were sick. My brother was in a few bands growing up that I always used to go to shows and support. But then after a while, it just seems to sort of die out. Spires were probably the only band really left actually giving it a crack and touring and stuff. And, it was hard for them. They definitely, fucking struggled and were punished by the road for sure. But yeah, it kind of died out. But yeah, there was a local scene for a little bit, and I'd like to think that with Neck Deep doing well that we could kind of bring that back. I know there's a couple of young promoters starting up in the area and who are putting shows on now, which is awesome. And I think they look up to us as a big influence, so that's awesome. Hopefully bringing it back. But yeah, the UK is definitely always has produced some amazing music too. But in the field of pop punk, never really so much.
Who kind of what band was it that really got you into pop punk just in general, like opened all the doors for you and everything?
Just straight up Blink-182. All day, every day. Blink-182 and New Found Glory were my two, and Green Day. They're probably my top three of all time.
And so I just imagine that show that you played with Blink just being like one of them moments, man. Like, yeah,
man, that was like crowning achievement right there, and it's happened. It happened 2 years into our career, which is insane. I would have thought playing with Blink or having or even Blink just being aware of us would have been the greatest thing I could have ever hoped to achieve, and now they're more than aware of us. Mark Hoppus is a fan and has heard the record and loves it, and Travis is awesome too. I never really spoke to Tom, but Travis is an awesome dude, and his daughter's a huge fan too. So yeah, they're more than aware of us. It's pretty rad. Yeah. Phil, our bassist, texts Mark Hoppus. That's the thing.
What are you thinking about the lineup change that Blink's going through right now? Are you paying attention to any of that going on? Or
Yeah,
you just
I know they said something that Skiba's in the band now, apparently.
Yeah.
And Skiba's going to be writing with them now, which is sick. Yeah, I'm stoked. Like, I honestly think in terms of a replacement for Tom DeLonge, like, couldn't have really gone for anyone better, I don't think, you know. He's obviously a passionate dude who still cares about writing music, and, you know, I think he's been friends with Blink for a long time, so he understands what Blink is all about, and, you know, I guess Tom just wasn't about it so much anymore. You know, he wanted to do something more mature and wanted to do something that he was directing, I guess. And it seemed as though he just fell out of love with Blink-182, and that sucks. But, you know, he's a 40-odd-year-old man. He has a family and other interests now, which I respect. And I respect that he has a lot going on. And it sucked to hear, you know, that they split up again. But I think Skiba's a bit, like, it's good that they're not just splitting up and that they're just going to carry on and they're not going to let it hold them back. And I think Skiba's a sick replacement. And I'm actually really excited to hear if they start writing together, like what actually happens. So I think it could be fucking amazing. So
yeah, I completely agree with you. And I'm like a huge Alkaline Trio fan. That was like my first band that I ever got into. So
same.
Like,
that's our guitarist, and he like loves Alkaline Trio. He's wearing an Alkaline Trio shirt now. Actually.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Funny story. My mom, I mean, somewhere along in her 40s, got an Alkaline Trio tattoo. Like her first tattoo ever, man. Like, so
yeah, that's
I mean.
sick.
Yeah, I've been like, I like wasn't really too into Blink before all that happened, just because I kind of got into music right as they were kind of fading away. But I mean, Alkaline Trio for sure, man. I'm like real excited to see where they're heading with that, because it's gonna be.
Of course, man. I'm excited too. I think he's got a great voice. He's a great songwriter. Just fits the mold, I think, very well. Right.
So going back to the band starting and everything like that, when was it that you guys got signed, and what was that process like?
We got signed to Hopeless Records, I think, like 2 years ago now. So maybe just after a year of being a band, roughly. I think what sparked it all off was that we went on a band holiday to Florida. Our guitarist rang us up one day and was like, "Oh, I found like flights for like £250 return to Florida on Skyscanner." And we'd all just been paid our student loans and shit. Like a bunch of us were still in uni. I think we got paid like a couple of days before, so yeah, we were just like, fuck it, let's fly over to Florida and let's go and ride roller coasters and go to water parks, but also if we can, let's play a few shows. So we booked a few shows out there. One was a house show, which was insane, just crazy. The first ever show we played in America. And then the next one was at a venue right next to the skate park in Tampa called Epic Problem. And that was awesome too. Like just two of the best shows that we ever played, and made some amazing friends. And if anything, I think that was probably the best thing we ever did, because the footage from those shows caught the attention of a lot of people, including, you know, some record labels, and one of those was Hopeless, and we got to talking, and the rest is kind of history. So yeah, that move, that Florida holiday was probably the best thing we ever did. So.
Was there like any nervousness when it came to actually signing with Hopeless? I mean, had you had any other label offers? Did you have management at that point, or was it just something that you jumped into?
We'd had management for a while, for a little bit at that point. We were with a very, very, very small label for a brief time, but I think they kind of like screwed us a little bit. He like got us to sign this like bullshit contract that didn't really mean anything. I'm pretty sure he copied and pasted it off the internet. And yeah, we kind of got out of that very quickly because it wasn't really that fair on us, and it was kind of just like not really doing anything for us. So yeah, we were kind of, you know, we were aware of what record labels could be like, and, you know, we were aware that signing contracts can be a dangerous game. So we had all our bases covered, definitely going into it. We were smart about it, and yeah, it's paid off since then. There's been no issues. Great label, full of great people, and they do great things. So.
Very cool. So the new album, again, it's coming out August 14th. What's the thing that you're most excited for people to hear about the new record?
There's a few different songs on there. There's honestly 5 or 6 different songs that I feel like could be singles. And I'm just stoked people to hear those, and just to hear how good the songs are, because really like it's nothing different. It's not like Neck Deep trying to do something different or be something different. It really is just a Neck Deep record, first and foremost, and it's awesome, and I'm just stoked that it came out the way it did, and I just hope people get the vibe of it, you know, that it is meant to sound like a classic pop punk, like the music that we fell in love with, and hopefully try and get people to fall in love with again. I mean, pop punk definitely is, you know, hasn't lost its roots, but it's a different beast these days. And if by doing something different we have to be the most generic shitty pop punk band ever, but it works, then that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, I don't know, I just hope people get it. And I think the lyrics are full of a lot of positivity, which the scene needs at the minute. Too many sad kids out there, and I'm just trying to make these kids a little bit happier. Make them see that life is not that bad. Make them see that life is not out to get them. So,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
that's kind of what I'm hoping. I hope kids really connect with it, and I hope it helps them through some shit times.
That's good, man. And I mean, it is a thing where the scene really does need some positivity right now. What's your take on all? I mean, just generally speaking, everything that's happening.
I just don't want to be a band that kids cut themselves to.
Right.
I see that a lot. Like, we see that at signings and when we meet kids and stuff. Like, we see kids that have got a lot of cuts all over them, and it's just the saddest thing in the world to know that, even though those kids are happy in that moment that you're meeting them, that they're going to go home and maybe not be so happy. And I don't know. I don't want to contribute to that. I want to be part of the solution and not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that there's so much more that if someone was just there to give these kids like another perspective on life, then maybe a lot would change.
Right.
And yeah, I just think it sucks. I really do, and I don't want to see kids hurting themselves or worse. I just want kids to be happy and to see that the world is, well, the world's fucked, but I want them to just see that life isn't too bad, and it is what you make it. And yeah. Yeah,
right. No, that's
stop these kids hurting themselves. Yeah, man, stop these kids doing something that they should be doing.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of it is maybe just like a trend as well. It's like a trend. It's a bit, and it can be a cry for attention too, sometimes. And kids can, maybe just showing these kids they don't need that to cry for attention, and they can just listen to some music and connect, and that will help them through.
Right. And so you just want to be part of that change, part of the progression of just positivity and everything like that.
I want to be progressive. I don't want to be regressive. I just want to do something positive. I want to, in the way that I can, I have this platform to voice opinions and ideas, and really my whole life and outlook on life is, and at least in the past few years, has just been about maintaining a positive outcome. Obviously, you can't be happy 24/7. No one is, no one is, well, I'm sure there are people like that, but not everyone is like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, my outlook on the past few years has been just trying to see the positives in life and really just see the good in life, I guess.
Absolutely. And that's a really good mindset to have. I went on Twitter and I asked our followers to send in questions if they had any, and I had like 9 people ask this question, and I just didn't get it until I read it out loud to myself. The question is, what are you neck deep in? So I guess they're taking your band name and asking what it means. So yeah. I figured that I had to. I don't know if it's something you're asked a lot. It seemed kind of stupid to me, but I figured just to please the people that listen to this, what are you neck deep in?
I am neck deep in bleach blonde hair. That's what I'm in. I dyed my hair recently.
Yeah. So, does that change every? Does the neck deep? Does that answer change all the time? Is that just like an ongoing thing?
Yeah, I don't get anything. I'm also neck deep in Warped Tour right now.
Okay.
I'm neck deep in Aircon also right now.
I'm
neck deep in Kisses from Tobit.
Oh, look at you. So that's a cool kind of thing, because now that I get that, I think I'm neck deep right now in pizza, because I just had pizza.
Sick.
I'm neck deep,
man.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna love that, dude. That would have been the perfect answer. I think
to say
if
you're
I
neck deep?
said that, kids would have blown up. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing it for the pop punkness. Honestly, my buddy brought me over some pizza. I swear to you, I'm legitimately, I'm living the life. I'm not putting on a facade. It's legitimate right now.
Dude, same. Sometimes when I eat pizza, I just think, dude, I just want to eat pizza. I don't want to be
right.
pop punk. I just want to enjoy some pizza.
I don't want to Instagram this. This is my real, I'm eating this pizza because this is who I am. This isn't a marketing thing. Totally. I guess I suppose us discussing it though openly like this is kind of negating away from the fact that, because it's going to be aired on a podcast, so it does seem as though it's this is all sorts of fucked up. I don't know where I'm getting with it. But yeah, that's a great thing. What are you neck deep in? I like it a lot, and I should have maybe that's a good. I'm neck deep in. I don't know. I'm in this podcast right now. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You're neck deep in this.
So, are you after Warped Tour? Are you heading back home, or are you staying in the States for the release of the album?
Well, we're here doing a couple of acoustic installs. I think we'll be here on the day that the album releases, maybe for a little bit after. And then we fly over to the UK to do a couple of installs, and we play Reading and Leeds Fest. Then we have a little bit of time off, and we head back out on tour again.
That's
hasn't been announced. Well,
that's real exciting, though. I remember Reading and Leeds, man. I just remember seeing videos of that festival, and being from the States, that was always something I saw that I always wanted to be a part of and just like be there, because that's like
it's huge, man.
Oh,
it's a huge
absolutely.
Deal. Leeds Festival was the festival I would choose to go to just to enjoy, and you know the fact that we've played it, and now I'm going to get to play the main stage this year is just insane. Really is a dream come true. So yeah, I get to play my my festival of youth, you know.
Right. That's like when you did a Wembley show recently.
With All Time Low.
Does Wembley rank above Reading and Leeds to you, or are they kind of? I mean, you haven't done the festival yet, but
I think so. Maybe. I mean, maybe, you know. Obviously, I feel like there's some big ass slots on Leeds. You know, maybe one day when we headline it, that'll be the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess so. Because Wembley is special, you know, very special, and the big dogs play there. Reading and Leeds is, you know, you have bands that are absolutely tiny playing that festival, and then you have mega gigantuan bands. Whereas, you know, if you make it to Wembley, then you're doing something right. Even though Reading and Leeds is still fucking awesome, and still, you know, it would be a dream to play higher up on the main stage at some point in the future. I would love that, but Wembley is Wembley. It's like our Madison Square Garden, yeah.
Right. I know that because, not from music purposes, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and there'd be wrestling events at Wembley that I would be aware of, and so whenever I hear the name, I'm like, oh, that's a big deal. You know, that's huge.
I think it's like 13, 14,000, something like that. Like, it's big.
That's nuts,
It's really big.
Well, congratulations on your success to this point. I could imagine.
Thank you very much.
Give yourself 3 more years, and if you keep up at this pace, they're gonna rename Reading and Leeds after you guys, because the success.
That would be great.
The success is coming so fast. It's nuts to me to think of how. I mean, I mosey by your set at Warped Tour, and just everybody's into you. And it's just so fast, and I mean, well deserved. Don't get me wrong, but. It's still. I mean, it's cool to see a band like that, like you guys, who, you know, you were saying that you would stick around the local scene. You're humbled, like back when you're coming up. It just, you know, blowing up for the right reasons, and you know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, I'm over here just kissing your ass, but I mean, it's true, and you know,
hey, dude, it's all good. My ass tastes good.
I'm neck.
Actually, my ass probably tastes.
Hey, man, I'm neck deep in ass right now, so. I suppose. Yeah, dude. Do you see where I went with that? That was not planned out.
Yeah,
but
dude.
That was
apply it to anything.
Yeah.
You can legit apply that to anything.
You could. I love it.
Which is cool, but also could get annoying.
Do you do that in the band, or is that just something that more so like fans will do to you? Like, are you like in the bus and somebody says,
we're fully aware of all the puns that our name is associated with, you know.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we really do it as a band. It's more of a fan thing, I think.
Yeah, I would. I don't know what I don't know what I would do in your situation. People are making like, what are they? You said they're making puns. What are they doing?
Puns, yeah. Just generally making puns. Just like, you know, taking the lyrics from songs and stuff, and just like, oh, you always have a part of me. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, I don't know. They'll just make puns out of lyrics a lot. And they'll be like,
yeah,
that's kind of funny. You know, we've heard most of them. When someone gives us an original one that we haven't heard before, that's always sick. But we've heard most of them. That's
what I really should have done for this interview. Is I should have come up with an original pun for one of your songs to just kind of
maybe one of the new ones. Yeah, I guess we're gonna get a whole flurry of them when the new record comes out. So.
That would for me, I don't know, because that's like your music and everything, and it's cool that fans interact, and even though it's all lighthearted and joking and everything like that, you're still putting out these damn songs. It's your sweat going into them. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. You don't want people. I don't know. I
don't care. No, I don't really care. It's funny. We have a good sense of humor. We can laugh at ourselves. We're British.
Good.
We're
British. Is that
we laugh at ourselves and just complain and moan about life all the time. Don't worry, we can laugh at ourselves pretty well.
All right, man. Well, that's good. I'm excited about the new record. Again, comes out August 14th. Everybody knows about it. I don't know. Is there anything that you wanna maybe add? I think I've covered. I'm neck deep in things I've asked you.
In content here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if anyone checks out the album, thank you very much. It means a bunch. If you pre-ordered or anything like that, even more thank yous. Like, the dedication is unreal, and we love it. And yeah, hopefully you just enjoy the record. And yeah, I hope it helps. And anyone who comes to a show or has seen us on Warped Tour, thank you very much. You've made it very fun. So.
Look at you, so polite and so friendly, and I don't know.
Dude.
I think we're good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed talking to you. It was good. I really do appreciate you coming on here and taking time out of your stuff. I'll let you get back to it.
No worries.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna warm up and then head out to stage.
Oh shit! Really? Okay. Well, you go do your thing, man. I appreciate it. I will hopefully talk to you in the future. So there's the interview with Ben of Neck Deep. I have been Dan, and JWeb is still here.
And I have been JWeb.
Yeah, it's been a time for sure.
It's been a time.
This time is now in history, and not really a good time.
It was
not really a bad time either.
Yeah, I feel neutral. Kind of like.
I wanted to make it good for JWeb. Hopefully he comes on the show and co-hosts with me again. If you guys enjoyed him, tweet at Pup Fresh, let us know. Tweet at JWeb Music, let him know. Tweet, and if you didn't like him, then just tweet him, because I don't need that negativity in my life.
I'll take it. I'm used to it.
If you want to listen to previous Pup Fresh podcast episodes, go to youtube.com/pupfresh or soundcloud.com/pupfresh, or subscribe to us on iTunes, because we are on all of those places. JWeb, what's your favorite Pup Fresh podcast?
My favorite Pup Fresh podcast is the State Champs podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I like that one.
That's weird.
Why? What else?
A lot of people were hating on it.
Why?
They said that I was annoying.
No, people are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's annoying. Well, fuck off.
Yeah, like maybe I am annoying, but guess what?
Well, guess what? You're not interviewing State Champs.
Yeah, and my mom thinks that I'm cool, so
you're home diddling yourself.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
And also, the autumn interview is probably the best one that I did ever.
Yes.
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Yes.
But for different reasons.
I wouldn't go to listen to the autumn one for enjoyment, but
no, you'd go to it for like, wow, this is kind of
important and necessary.
Right. But seriously, let us know if you enjoyed having JWeb on, because this is
my final chance at relevancy.
Yeah, because this guy's really fallen off. JWeb, why don't you sing for us? Let everybody hear how good you are. Maybe they'll come on.
What do you want from me?
I want you to sing Panic at the Disco's introduction.
What?
From Fever You Can't Sort Out. First song. Introduction.
I can't sing that.
Oh, damn it.
There's no lyrics in that shit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still better than Ryan Ross singing on the second album.
It's the Pup Fresh Podcast. Pup Fresh Podcast. Pup Fresh Podcast.